What am I to do living in this world, having to earn a livelihood and to have clothes, food, shelter, and leisure? What am I to do knowing the cause of this loneliness, which is, let us say, ambition, the competitive spirit? How am I to live without ambition, without competition in this world? I'm lonely. This loneliness has been brought about by self-centered activity. And one of its forms is ambition, greed, envy, imitation. I have to live in this society that makes me conform, be ambitious, encourages hypocrisy. How am I to earn a livelihood and yet not be ambitious? Because ambition is a form of isolation. How am I to live in this world without ambition? Live among you who are ambitious, but I don't want to be ambitious. How am I to live with you? Ambition is to transform what you are into something you are not. That is one part of ambition. Ambition is to try to achieve something that you think is desirable, something that you think will give you power, position, prestige. Ambition is to write something and hope that it will sell 1 million copies. And that is the society in which I am forced to live. And I realize that has brought loneliness to me. And I see how tremendously destructive this loneliness is, because it prevents my relationship with another. It prevents affection, care, love. And to me, that is tremendously important. Can I live in a world that is tremendously ambitious and therefore deceitful, dishonest? How am I to live there, in that world? Because I don't want to be ambitious. I see what the result of ambition is: loneliness, despair, ugliness, violence. Now I say to myself, how am I to live with you who are ambitious? Am I ambitious? Not the ambition to have a bigger house, the ambition to be successful, the ambition to achieve a result, money, but also the ambition to transform what is into the perfect state. I'm ugly and I want to transform that into the most beautiful state. All that and more is ambition. And I watch it. That is my life. I'm watching it night and day, because I have realized the truth that loneliness is the most terrible thing, because it is most destructive in relationship, and human beings cannot live by themselves. Life is relationship. Life is action in that relationship. If in that relationship there is isolation, there is total inaction.
صلى الله عليه وسلم
Am I ambitious to transform what is into what should be, the ideal? That is a form of ambition, to change what I am into what I should be. Am I doing that? Are you doing that? So I watch and I say, yes, I want to change what is into what should be. And I realize how absurd that is. It is a part of ambition given to me by education, culture, tradition. In school, A is better than B. Copy A. The religions have said, change from what you are to what you should be. So I realize the falseness of it, and I totally discard it. I will not touch it. So I accept what is. I see what is. And I see what is isn't good enough. So how am I to transform it without the ambition of changing it into something? Any form of exercise of will is ambition. I have discovered that. The discovery of it has given me energy so that I can discard will. And I see that conformity is one of the educated reactions of the culture in which I live. The conformity of long hair, short trousers, short skirt, conform. Outwardly and inwardly conform. Become a Buddhist, Catholic, Muslim, conform. I have been taught from childhood to conform. I am forced, educated, compelled to conform. What takes place when I conform? There is a struggle, conflict. I am this and you want me to be that. So there is conflict, there is loss of energy, there is fear that I'm not what you expect me to be. So conformity, will, desire to change what is all part of ambition. I'm observing this, so I observe and I say, I will not conform. I understand what conformity is. I'm conforming when I put on trousers. I'm conforming when I keep to the left or right side of the road. I'm conforming when I learn a language. I conform when I shake hands. So I'm conforming in a certain direction, at certain levels. And at other levels, I'm not conforming. Because that is part of isolation. So what has happened to the mind that has observed the activities of ambition, conformity, will, the desire to change what is into what should be, and so on? Those are all the activities of ambition that have produced this sense of desperate loneliness. So all kinds of neurotic activities take place, and as I have observed it, watched it, without doing a thing about it, then out of that observation the activity of ambition has come to an end, because the mind has become extremely sensitive to ambition. It is as if it cannot tolerate ambition. Therefore, becoming very sensitive, it has become tremendously intelligent. How am I to live in this world being highly sensitive, intelligent, and therefore with no ambition? How am I to live with you who are ambitious? Have we any relationship with each other? You are ambitious and I'm not. Or you are not and I am. It doesn't matter which way. What is our relationship? There is no relationship. What am I to do living in this world which is made up of ambition, greed, hypocrisy, violence, trying to change this into that? And I see that all leads to loneliness, and that destroys relationship. The mind has come to the point when it has to face a crowd, a civilization, a world in which the poison of ambition is rampant. And this mind will not tolerate psychologically and physically any form of ambition, and yet it has to live here. What is it to do? Isolation, which is loneliness, takes place when there are all the activities of ambition. When there are no activities of ambition, there is no loneliness. I have taken one example of the cause of loneliness. If I understand one cause of loneliness, I have understood all the other causes. Because in this one cause is included conformity, in this one cause is included will, wanting to change this to that in order to become something, in order to be greater, nobler, wiser, more rich, and so on. All that I discover in this one act of ambition. To me is an appalling thing to be ambitious. I have realized it, and I see the ugliness, the falseness of it, not verbally, but actually. It is like seeing a precipice. When I see a precipice, I move away from it, if I'm sane. Then, am I lonely? Of course not. I'm self-sufficient. My relationship with you, then, is that I'm self-sufficient. You are not. Therefore, you are going to exploit me. You are going to use me to satisfy yourself. And I say, don't do it. It is a waste of time. So relationship based on loneliness is one thing, but relationship based on non-loneliness, on complete self-sufficiency, is another. Relationship born out of loneliness leads to great misery. Then what takes place when there is no loneliness, when there is complete self-sufficiency, no dependency? I love you. You may not love me. I love you. That's good enough. I don't want your response that you love me also. I don't care. Like the flower, it is there for you to look at it, to smell, see the beauty of it. It doesn't say love me. It is there. Therefore it is related to everything. And in the great depth and beauty of sufficiency, in which there is no loneliness, no ambition, there is really love. And love as relationship with nature. If you want it, there it is. If you don't want it, it doesn't matter. That's the beauty of it.